Previously on Big Brother. Dan was crowned as the first HOH. He had to spin the wheel of mayhem to decide what the twist of the week was going to be, and that was double power of veto. Our three have-nots were sent to the room for 24 sim hours, and there were accidents. Double accidents. They began playing and strategizing among themselves. But at the nomination ceremony, Jen and Paul were put up. Who will win the first 2 power of vetoes this episode? And who will be the first evicted house guest? Find out now. Hi friends, welcome back to my Sims 4 Big Brother challenge. I hope you're all doing well. This is a jam-packed episode, so I hope you're all ready. We just had our nomination ceremony and Paul and Jen are on the block, but there's gonna be 2 power of vetoes won, so I'm really excited. I think that the odds are better to at least have one of the nominees win, unless the ones selected are huge comp beasts and do really well. But I'm so curious to see how that plays out and if it really upsets the game. I have to. I'll let them pee themselves, but I cannot have dirty dishes in my Big Brother house. So this keeps happening, where the Sims like combine into one, but then they won't use the washroom? Like, go pee. Go pee. Have to step in. But yeah, I don't know if you were expecting Jen or Paul. I was expecting Paul just because from what I was witnessing, they were talking a lot, but like it didn't always seem like it was good conversation. And then when I checked the relationships, that was exactly it. I'm sorry, I just kicked my table. They didn't have a good relationship. Paul was actually the only one so far for Dan that was in the red. He had a negative, so that was an easy pick. And then Jen, unfortunately, just, I think a big factor was obviously she was locked away for I almost said an hour for a sim day. So, yeah, it sucks because, like, obviously, I'm trying not to be biased, but I do like Jen and Paul. Why is Rennie red? Make it! Hurry up! This is another thing, too. They just kind of hover at the sink. It's weird. Like, so strange. Anyway, I'm so curious how Veto's gonna go. Everyone has to pee. And if Jen and Paul both win and take themselves off, it'll be interesting to see who gets put up. Oh, just hanging out in the HOH room, are we? So I'll let them have the evening to kind of just do their own thing. And then tomorrow in the morning, we'll do the veto because it's a big day. So we have to do veto competition, veto ceremony, and then eviction. Everyone has to pee. Why are you tense? Seriously? Rachel seems to have upset some Sims, except some nasty... Oh, expect. I can't read. Some Rachel seems to have upset some Sims. Expect some nasty texts. Whew. nailed it. It's actually interesting, like, looking at the relationships that people are at right now. And I'm glad they're talking more. I was so worried that no one was speaking. If, like, there's one house guest that kind of seems to be in a good position right now, but that could change literally, like, so quick, is Brittany, because people seem to like her right now. Do you think this outfit looks fine? Who's Helen talking to? Vanessa? I don't want to hurt your feelings. Awkward. But yeah, Brittany seems to be like the one that people kind of think that they're closest to right now. So I'm curious to see how that either continues going or how somehow that'll like change, because this game is always changing. But like Dan and Brittany and Dan and Donnie are actually pretty close. So we'll see if that if anything comes from that. Rennie, what are you doing? She's gonna go to sleep. Donnie. Nighttime swim. That, look at his body. Ooh, creepy. Now you guys are hanging out with the HOH. Except not talking, which is why you were put up on the blog, Jen. Alright, well, I will let them all get themselves like fed and taken care of, and then we will get ready for the first veto competition. Alrighty, welcome to the first veto competition. These are our players. We have our head of household, Dan, our nominee, Jen, our other nominee, Paul, and then I randomly selected Rennie, Jesse, and Rachel are going to be playing. So, how this competition is going to work. We're going to play some horseshoe. Each contestant will have 3 chances to try and score as many points as they can. If they hit the very back wall here, it's going to count as 0 points. If they hit near the target, it'll be 1. And if they actually get it on the target, it'll be 2 points. So again, if they throw it, it hits this back wall, 0 points. If they throw it on the ground and it's near, it's 1 point. And if they get it right along this pole, it'll be 2. They get 3 chances, and we first have our HOH, Dan. Remember, 2 people get it. I'm so excited. Here Dan goes. So his first shot. He's thinking so hard. All right. First shot, hit the ground. That's 1 point. Here's the second shot. Again, near, but not on the target, so he gets another 1 point. Here he goes for his last try. Again, just near, so Dan is going to finish with 3 points, which is pretty solid. All right, Rachel's turn. Rachel gets 3 chances. Here she goes for her first. We are near. Oh no. It's gonna just be a huge tie. For her second try, here she goes. That went off the back wall, so that is 0 points. She will not beat Dan. Her last try is just near, but not on the target. So that means Rachel has 2. All right, Paul is going. Not on the target, but near, so that's 1 point. Ooh, not on the target, but near, that's another point. Ah, off the back wall, so it doesn't count. So Paul only has 2, tied with Rachel, and Dan has 3. All right, Rennie, what do you got for us? She's going for her first. Will we see someone actually get it around the pole? Off the back wall, so no, not yet. Her second try. Near, but not quite, so just one. And near again. Sorry, Rennie, that's only 2 points. Here goes Jen. Can she get more than 2? She hits the back wall, so that will be 0. Second try. She did a dance. I think that went on. I mean, you didn't look it, but I'm pretty sure that went around. Why else would she have done her little, like, bell kick or whatever they're called? I think that's safe to say that Jen, yeah, she gets 2 points for that. I really hope I promise I'm not, like, trying to rig it, but, like, no one's ever reacted that way. So I think, yeah, she gets 2. Back wall. Didn't even matter. I think I'm still giving her 2 points. I think that was a round, but she still only ends up with a score of 2. So as it stands right now, Dan has won a power of veto because he is at 3, everyone's at 2, and if Jesse gets 3 or higher, he will get the second one. So congratulations to our 8. Congratulations. Oh, that is... Oh god. That is the face of someone who just won one of the power vetoes, and that's the face of someone who maybe didn't. So yeah, if Jesse gets higher than 2, he wins the second veto, and if not, then we just go to a sudden death and everyone gets 1 try. God, I really need to come up with different games that don't go to like big ties. Okay, Jesse, what do you got? His first try? That was near. He didn't do his like bell kick, so I know it wasn't. I don't even think that's what it's called. That's near again. Just one more try for Jesse. Near again. So we have our 2 veto winners. We have Dan and Mr. Jesse here. So with 3 points each, Dan and Jesse win the 2 powers of veto. Will they use it on either Jen or Paul? Who knows? But we're going to go right into that veto ceremony right now. Welcome to our first veto ceremony where we have not 1 power of veto that was won, but we have 2. So Dan and Jesse, they each get the chance to, if they choose, to take off one of the nominees up on the block, making them save, and then forcing Dan, the HOH, to then put a different replacement nominee up. Dan will go first. He has put some thought into changing things up, but he feels strongly that this was the right choice for him, so he has decided not to use the power of veto. Jesse has also taken into consideration changing things up in this house and removing one of the nominees. He really dislikes Paul. He thinks that Paul is one of the worst things that could have happened to this house. He strongly believes that having Paul up on the block will guarantee that he leaves. So Jesse doesn't think that Jen is the target this week, so he has decided not to use the power of veto to hopefully ensure that Paul does go home this week. And with that, that is our veto ceremony. Our nominees are still Paul and Jen. Who will be the first evicted? We're gonna go right into the live vote now. Now it is time for our live vote to evict. Remember, house guests, you can only vote to evict Paul or Jen from the game. Dan as outgoing HOH. If there is a tie, you will be in charge of breaking it. Oh, this is so sad that it's the first eviction. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm professional. Brittany has been able this week to talk to Jen and get to form a little bit of a relationship, whereas her and Paul have absolutely nothing. They are merely just acquaintances that on day one introduce themselves and never really pursued it. So, Brittany, please cast your vote now. Thank you. Donnie is pretty neutral on how he feels. He doesn't have a strong relationship or bond with either of the house guests, but he does feel like one person deserves a second chance and to really prove themselves in this game, which they didn't yet. So, Donnie, please cast your vote to evict. Thank you, Donnie. For this vote, it's pretty easy for Helen, who she's going to vote to evict. One of these nominees she really has started to form a relationship with, and the other one really hasn't been someone that she's bonding with and doesn't see a future of working together in this game. So with that, Helen, please cast your vote to evict. Thank you, Helen. For Janelle, she doesn't really care about either one of these house guests. She wants them both to be gone, if she's being honest. She doesn't see a future of working together with any of them, so it's not worth her time. But she does have to make a decision. So, Janelle, please cast your vote to evict. Thank you, Janelle. This vote is probably one of the easiest votes that Jesse will have to make so far, which is easy to say. First week in, he absolutely hates Paul and wants him out of this game. So, Jesse, please cast your vote to evict. Thank you. There's one house guest up for nomination that Rachel would be really happy if they left. So she doesn't, it wasn't a difficult decision. Rachel, please cast your vote to evict. Thank you. With 6 votes to evict, Paul will be the first house guest out of the Big Brother house. However, we still have some votes we need to get through. Starting with Rennie. Rennie is just going with the flow of the house. She doesn't have strong feelings towards either one of the nominees, but doesn't want to put a huge target on her back by voting against the house. So, Rennie, please cast your vote to evict. Thank you, Rennie. Much like most of the house guests, she doesn't have a strong feeling against either one of them, the nominees. However, it would be weird to go against the house right now, and her relationships with both of them weren't very high anyway. So, Vanessa, please cast your vote to evict. Thank you. Will, quite frankly, doesn't care who stays or goes. It's just an extra person in this house. He's excited for this eviction because it's one less person and he's ready to just move on. So, Will, please cast your vote to evict. Thank you. Zach is trying to think of the bigger picture here and thinks that the person that he's going to decide to stay, he thinks that maybe they could work together in the future, and if not, he'll just vote them out next time. So, Zach, cast your vote to evict. Thank you, Zach. All right, house guests, the votes are in. One of you will be leaving the Big Brother house right now by a vote of 10-0. Paul, you are evicted from the Big Brother house. All right, our first house guest is leaving. Oh my gosh. Bye, Paul. Oh no. Yeah, he's pretty upset. And just like that, we have our first evicted house guest. Oh my goodness. Did you see that coming? Are you upset? Are you okay with this? Let me know in the comments below. This will be it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Please comment below who are you rooting for. Don't forget, in the description, there are the 2 polls that you could vote in more than once if you would like, to give 2 house guests special power. Is this the last time we're going to see Paul, or is there maybe another twist coming? Ooh. Well, I don't know, except I do. Our next episode, we are going to have our HOH competition and figure out who's going to have new power in this house. So stay tuned. And that's everything. Bye, friends. Why?